Hi, I'm Scott Houston, host of the television series The Piano Guy. Are you someone who has always wanted to be able to sit down at a piano and play a few tunes just for the fun of it? Well, it's not too late and it's easier than you think. Don't believe me? Stick around and I'm going to show you how using 3 easy steps in this, the new Play Piano in a Flash. Hello, everyone. I'm Scott Houston, and I'm so happy you could join me here today because today is the day that you're going to learn how to play some of your favorite tunes on the piano with 2 hands using 3 easy steps. Sure, right? Now, I know you probably find that really hard to believe because you most likely have tried before and it didn't work then, and you're thinking, well, why would it work now, huh? Well, maybe you can relate to some of the other students that I've helped who felt that maybe they weren't, coordinated enough and had all that going to play with both hands, or they weren't smart enough to read the sheet music, or they had 0 timing and all that stuff. Well, no worries, gang. Believe me, I've heard it all before. This time, it's going to be different because I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to know right now, and nothing more, to get you playing your favorite tunes with 2 hands as quickly as possible. Actually, I've been teaching my easy approach for years and years to literally tens of thousands of people through my public television show and my series and workshops and other personal appearances and all. And the even better news is that with all that experience I've had, well, I've gotten pretty darn good at it, if I do say so myself. I've been able to distill the basics into even more concise directions than ever before. And I've produced some new teaching materials that cut even just more directly to the core of exactly what you need to know to learn how to play quickly and easily. Now, I've incorporated these concepts into today's show, and I'm going to share with you for the first time the most straight-ahead, easy approach to tackling this lifelong dream of simply wanting to play the piano for fun. I'm going to show you and teach you my 3 steps to piano success. All right, now, the first order of business before we get into all this kind of, hands-on piano stuff is really to determine where it is you want to go on your musical journey. I mean, I think it's pretty imperative to know where you want to end up before you start your trip. Well, that sounds pretty logical, doesn't it? So let me ask you a few questions, and I think the answer to these questions is probably going to go a long way toward deciding whether or not I'm the right guy for you or not, and I may not be. I mean, the approach I teach isn't any better or worse than a more traditional method. It's just radically different, okay? And this is very important, my approach is going to take you to a very different musical destination. So I think we better see if that's where you want to go before we dig in, right? I mean, if you had friends over, let me ask you this. If you had friends over to your house and you wanted to, play a little something to entertain them, would you like to play something like this? Or would you rather play maybe something like this? Yeah. Hey, how many of you would maybe like to sit down and play a few holiday songs for your family? Maybe you could even, really freak everybody out and do it without even reading music. Something like this, Right? Something like that. Looks like maybe a few of you would be into that, huh? This is always another good one. Everyone can always relate to this. How about maybe, the 2 or 3 times a year you're having a birthday party at your house? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to just sit down and, something like that, right? Or maybe you like jazz music and you're interested in learning how to improvise a little bit. That's always kind of a biggie for a lot of my students. You just... something like that. Or here's another big one I know. A lot of people have interest in learning how to sing, right? Or they're learning how to accompany themselves singing. Just be able to play piano to sing along with themselves. Something like this. You say, I'm going to Kansas City, here I come. Right? Something like that. Hopefully you'd sing a little better than I do. Now, hey, are any of you, right? Anybody in here interested in learning to play by ear? Maybe. Few? Some? Yeah? That's cool. And yes, that is, something you can absolutely learn. It's not just something you're born with or either, oh, I just don't have it type of a skill, right? I mean, let me ask you, for those of you who have already taken some lessons, at some point in your life, I mean, did you ever learn to do any of those things that I just asked you about to your satisfaction? And maybe you did. Yeah, you might have. But from my experience, from most of the adults I've worked with, you probably didn't. And it's not that there was anything wrong. And I really want to make this point loud and clear. There was nothing wrong with your lessons or your teacher in any way. But the chances are they just weren't focusing on those things that I just described. Instead, they were taking you somewhere I like to call Classicalville, okay? And it's not a bad place. But instead of learning how to play all these tunes you said you wanted to learn and all these things we were doing, you were instead heading toward becoming an excellent note reader because that's really the skill that you have to move forward playing classical piano. Well, if instead you want to learn how to play some of your favorite non-classical tunes quickly, follow me, and I'm going to get you where you want to go faster and a lot easier than you might think it's able to be done, all right?